We're here with Anna Maria Horner in her booth at Quilt Market, and I'm really excited about LouLouThi. Now,
Thank you.
explain about the name a little bit. The name comes from...
LouLouThi is Greek for flower. So, and a lot of the inspiration behind the line and the floral designs sort of stem out of my experience as a child and growing in my family with handwork. I was always surrounded by handwork as a little girl. My grandmothers on both sides, but particularly on the Greek side of my family, were always working on either crochet or needlepoint or cross stitch or embroidery. And so I know we're going to talk about it later, but getting to do embroidery collections and things and presenting and threads for hand quilting and cross stitch and everything has been on my mind for a few years now, and really ended up inspiring sort of the whole look of the collection, the motifs, and the style of some of the florals are very much the style of some things that you would see in embroidery and handwork. So LouLouThi is shown in 3 palettes for the quilting cottons, and I named the palettes after my daughters. This is the Eleni palette, and it's got lots of vibrant blues and corals and some pops of red, and again, the florals, some of them are very sort of traditional, like this one, but just the colors maybe are a little bit more modern. And even this is really a pretty traditional rose, but again, just some pops of almost neon brights, and lots of tonal prints to help connect, and beautiful for quilting.
Right.
And then we have this huge summer totem print, and every piece is shown in all 3 palettes. And this is the Juliana palette here, which is a little bit more sophisticated with grays and corals and some pops of army and bright citrus colors. And this is, sorry, I gotta get my fingers organized here. This is the Isabella collection, which has lots of pretty blues and browns with pops of pinks and yellows. And again, like some of these little forms just sort of came about when I thought about, you know, memories of needleworks and things like that I've collected from my family. This is plaid jellyfish.
I love this one.
But you know, floral imagery can kind of appear in a lot of ways, in sea life and in all sorts of nature scenes. And so I was sort of inspired by watching an underwater documentary when I saw like this whole entire field of jellyfish. It just looked like a floral.
And from the top, they do look like
yeah,
flowers.
It looked like a modern floral scene. So, and again, here's the summer totem print. And this shows kind of a whole cloth example of what we've done with that print. And we've done just some hand quilting around the shapes in various colors to sort of exemplify the colors and the pattern. And it takes some time to do this, definitely, but the time you spend, instead of piecing something, you can spend stitching, because this is just a whole cloth, you know.
Well, I really like what you've done to define the white too. You've done the pink stitching through the white.
Yeah, that's right. And we do that just with, you know, I've done it just with like a water soluble marker. I just trace, you know, I just drew lines with a straight edge to get some lines in there so that it's not blank, so it sort of activates the space a little bit and makes it feel like an artwork instead of just a printed fabric.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you so much. So in addition to the quilting cottons, we also have, let's see, where am I? We also have 6 voiles, which are the lighter weight, sort of a blouse weight, dress weight fabric.
And they flow really nicely. They drape
very
really
fluid and very breathable and beautiful. And again, the colors are, because, you know, a lot of these are going to be made into garments, the colors are slightly more wearable and a little bit more fashion-y. The scales we changed on some of the prints, like this rose print is a little bit smaller. It's shown here in the blouse. And then we used, it's the same print style, but we used in a large version of it up in the yoke, just to have a little bit of difference.
And this is an example of the stitch work that you were talking about that we'll be talking about later.
Yeah, that's an example of the stitch work shown in a kind of a fashion setting. And we also have, if I can find it, we've done 4 laminates as well.
Oh.
And the ones that I chose were just, I think, very summery, and I think people love to use the laminates for picnic cloths and tablecloths, and this one just screams tablecloth for me.
Oh, yeah,
in fact, we have one on the other side of the booth that's made out of that, and great for kids and baby items too, for bibs and baby bags and all those sorts of things.
Jackets,
raincoats, absolutely.